Hey everybody, yeah, I still got my tree up. Tony and I have just been backed up with some stuff where the thing is coming down tomorrow on Saturday. You know, because Tony and I are going to wrangle it, strip it of its ornaments, strip it of its garland, get the star off the top, unplug everything, and, get the tree in the box. Yeah, that's an artificial tree. I can't have. I'm extremely allergic to the real McCoy, so no real tree in this house. Believe me, or I'd be sicker than a dog for like a month. But that's not the reason why I'm doing this video tonight. I'm willing to bet money that Tony's going to leave a video about the same thing tomorrow or in the next day or so, after we wrangle the tree down. I know, and I was talking to Tony about this tonight. I know, like 2 years ago in 2009, right around, oh god, like Christmas time maybe, I know I left a very angry video complaining about this. It's the same thing happened again tonight. That night, back in December of 2009, took me 3 hours to get home. 3 hours to get from where I work, well, the building that I would work in if I go in, when I'm not upstairs telecommuting. It took me 3 hours to get from that building in Erlanger to here. I was pissed. And all it was, and all it ended up being was, and I'm sure you'll go look this video up, all it ended up being was there was a very bad semi-truck accident on Kentucky Route 9 in Cold Spring. Like, there's Route 9 goes, like, and I know I've shot video of this before, and I've talked about it, I don't know how many different times before, including in that video. What it is Route 9 starts in Newport, at this end, at the northern end, and goes south, clear, like, parallel almost with the Ohio River. And it runs parallel with 27 part of the way, parallel with 8 and 10, too. The further down you go, like, towards, like, Carter Caves and everything. Well, there's a part of Route 9 that, here in Cold Spring, it goes up a hill, and it's kind of like, I'll do it this way, kind of like this, where it's like a 30 to 40 degree angle up a hill. Well, that night back in 2009, there was a particularly bad semi-truck accident. And that's what the malfunction was, and that's what caused there to be traffic for 3 hours, because people were being, in a word, ignorant. Tonight, there was, on US 27, which is like the main, road here in Campbell County, there was a bad accident near US 27 and Low Gap Road, which is the easiest way for me to explain it to you. There's like this, like, two hills between Cold Spring and Alexandria. What it is you go down the hill, like, if you're going, like, it doesn't matter which way you're going, but we'll say from, like, if you're heading towards Alexandria and the Walmart, from, like, the Speedway here in Cold Spring, you'll go down the hill, and it's down in that valley before you go up the hill to go towards Alexandria and Walmart. Well, there was apparently a bad accident there tonight. I went and picked Tony up after I got off of work, from upstairs. I almost said from here, be upstairs. Tell you what, it made me grateful I work from home. I mean, this is one time I'm thinking, God, and I'm glad I work from home. I mean, it took me and Tony, it took me an hour approximately to get from here to where Tony works in downtown Cincinnati. It was that bad. And what was really bad is this light up here where I pull out to get onto 27. There was cars parked pretty much in the middle of the street illegally, or in the middle of the intersection. I had, like, I'd say just enough space between my car and those cars to get through, between the cars, like, on my left and, like, them on my right, and get on 27. I fishtailed up through there, and I tell you what, it's a miracle I got to downtown Cincinnati. And what was worse is, and I'm not making this up, the southbound side is far backed up as on the bridge on the Cincinnati side was backed up. That's how bad this traffic was. I mean, it was backed that far up. I mean, and it's just, I mean, it was a parking lot. And what was worse is there was a car accident on the 471 northbound side, just past the bridge, heading north past where the Beverly Hills Supper Club used to be. I know I've had videos on here showing where it is, or was. You can see like crosses and stuff from the road there. Well, what we did is US 27 actually starts in Detroit, Michigan, and ends somewhere down there in Florida. What I did was I took US 27 from Cincinnati all the way to home. And get a load of this, and this is the depraved thing. From Cincinnati to like the south end of Fort Thomas to right about where St. Stephen's Cemetery is, the south end of Fort Thomas, it was pretty much a clear drive. And right about the time, actually, I take that back, I was at the Frisch's in Fort Thomas at that red light where it started getting backed up. I mean, it was awful. From the Frisch's in Fort Thomas to right where we got to Perkins, where 471 and 27 meet, it was bumper to bumper. But I mean, it was amazingly enough moving. Because when we drove past the bridge on 27, where that one accident head northbound was, the southbound side was still a parking lot. I mean, and it's just, I told Tony, I said, you know, it was a mess earlier. I said it wasn't even, you know, it was unreal. But yeah, I mean, seriously, it was pretty stinking bad. I mean, I hate dealing with traffic. I mean, it snowed here, like maybe this much. I mean, it wasn't anything worth writing home to Mom about. But I mean, it did have like some black ice. I mean, I can tell you because I was looking out my window today as I was working. So I had my window open because I get like freaked out if I can't like see outside. It initially started off looking like a snow globe, you know, like, you know how you have like those snow globes and you shake it and it just comes down just all like little bit, you know, that, and then it just started getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and I'm like, I'd look outside and be like, dang, you know. I mean, it was unreal, but it was a mess and a half by the time, you know, I got off of work at 5:45, and then I sat around down here and relaxed a little bit before I went and picked Tony up, because he got off of work late tonight. But I mean, oh my God, I mean, we made it to Perkins because we're meeting some folks there. Now, by the time we got there, you know, I parked the car and I looked at Tony and I said, we're here. And it took us an hour and a half, no joke, from the time I left here to the time we got to Perkins to actually get to Perkins. I mean, it was that bad. And I mean, it was pretty bad. I'm trying to think. It was 7:30 and Tony and I were at the Frisch's. I'm serious. I mean, it's like, I left out of here like, I went outside and started up the car at like 6:45, and my windshield was iced up. So, I mean, I had the car heated up, you know, to kind of help melt the ice and stuff. By the time, let's see, it was, and I can tell you this because I looked quickly at the clock on my stereo, it said it was like, God, like 10 till 7. By the time I'd gotten to, I'd say Bob Evans here in Cold Spring on 27, and then, you know, I'd called Tony and told him, you know, you're going to have to call the people we're meeting and tell them we're going to be late. Because I know they're going to start calling and pestering us, you know, looking for us. And it was bad. I mean, seriously. I mean, I got him, I'd say, probably about 7:15, maybe. And then we got, it was earlier than that. I got him a little bit after 7. It was maybe like 5:10 after. And by the time he got in the car, I looked at him and I said, "You're lucky I came and got you." I said, you be grateful. I said, and I was pretty irritated by the time I got to him. I was like, you know, I am a nervous wreck right now. I hate driving in snow. I hate dealing with the people around me because they're incompetent. I mean, it just pissed me off in the worst way. And I mean, seriously, I mean, and it's like, we went straight from, I had him meet me at the Taft Theater in Cincinnati, because he works in downtown Cincinnati now. And I drove him from there to Perkins, and I mean, it was, oh my God, it was like 8 o'clock by the time we got there, and I was like, it took us that long for me to get from here to get to Perkins with him. I mean, it was that bad. I mean, fortunately, it wasn't a parking lot. I mean, I was just, you know, it was moving slowly. I mean, but at least it was moving. But seriously, I mean, this snow crap, people get so stupid and so paranoid in the snow. I mean, yeah, I can see you driving careful and stuff, but I just wish these people would just learn, you know, like when it's snowing out, you know, stay home unless you really truly need to go somewhere. I mean, like, yeah, I had a reason to go somewhere. I mean, I was picking up my husband from work, you know, but I think 90% of these yahoos that were out there weren't doing anything except for just being a pain in the ass. Excuse my language. Well, anyway, I just wanted to hop on here and say, you know, folks, if you live in this area, do yourselves a favor, and me too. Learn to be careful drivers, but don't be such a pain in the butt that you create traffic jams or car accidents, okay? Well, anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and have a good evening. Bye.